Hi guys, hope you're okay. I've changed things around slightly. I hope that's. I think I'm forgetting something again, but I'll find out soon enough. Uriah says hi. Fish says yo mom. Thank you very much as always. Fish says I'm a baby chicken. Harry is crying. Um, and Fish is rich or happy, or is that a combination of rich and happy? Let me know. I've moved this up slightly because I've noticed I'm always slouching because it's always down there. So now I've kind of deliberately moved it up so I sit with it straight back. Let's see, let's see how long that lasts because it was lower. So, but anyway, let's see how long that lasts. Crazy FC guy says first. How are you? Hope you're good. You were first, I think. So you are correct. Fish says hat of the stream is this one. Paid 2 whole Great British pounds. So quite happy with that. Durwood says, hello champion family, how are you? How goes the cleaning and the unpacking? I hope that's going good. Fish says, can you be quiet? I'm doing my son's homework. Crazy FC guy says, what do you mean? Well, welcome to my world, Crazy FC guy. I pretty much never know what fish means. Not never. Maybe one time out of 10 I do know what he means, but he's a mystery unto himself. But his intentions are good, so that's a positive. Yeah, you'll get used to him. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm used to him yet, but hopefully you do. Cosmin Gabriel says hi. How you doing? Dawood says, I say that every time I come on. I think his confusion might have been with the amphibian in the room. Anything Liverpool says, what game you excited for most in the Champions League group stage? To be honest, probably the Real Madrid game because Mr. 66 has to come back. And when I say Mr. 66 has to come back, in reality, he's just going to pull a sickie, isn't he? But I'm curious to see if he's got the guts to come back to his former home. Because if I think he does, yeah, if he does, I think he's going to have a tough time. So that's the one that I'm most intrigued about. On the one hand. On the other hand, just the Atletico game, because it's pretty much the next one. I think it's on Tuesday or Wednesday or something. So that one's pretty exciting as well. Crazy FC guy says, I have a question. Favorite Liverpool player of all time? Of all time, probably Steven Gerrard. Is that a lazy answer? Is that like a lazy and obvious answer? But that's probably who I'd go for. How about you? Fish's favorite is Alonso. That's a good choice as well. Can Kirkes provide defensive stability in big games? Says Ikram. I think so. Yeah. I mean, he did really good in the Arsenal game. So Arsenal put together Madueke highlights, and they were just highlights of him repeatedly coming up against Kirkes and failing to get past him. So yeah, I mean, I think defensively he's looking really good at the moment, and hopefully he can continue on that path. We have to remember as well, he's early 20s, like 22, 23 or something. So I think the early signs are pretty positive. Durwood is doing good. Officially out of the other house. Fantastic. Progressing well. Unpacking. It will be done before our birthday. Good stuff. Good stuff. For context, we discovered the other day, myself and Durwood. Well, a few days ago, we realized we were born in the same month. And okay, fine. That can happen. That can happen. That's it's not too crazy. And then the last stream, we figured we have the exact same birthday. So it's pretty crazy. 1 out of 365 chance. But it's It's good to hear that that's progressing quite well. Harry says, hello, how are you? All good, all good. How's things with you? We need to play Call of Duty again because I think Fish misses it. Also, I do, but I think Fish does as well. But yeah, all good, all good. Bought some stuff today. Haven't done my shopping yet, so I'll probably do that after this. But yeah, all good. How's things with you? AR's favorite Liverpool player of all time is Imran Khan. Liverpool player? Do you mean the cricketer, or do you mean the singer, or do you mean something else? Is there another Imran Khan? They've just kicked off. As I said, I moved everything to the opposite side. For a funny, if you want to know the actual reason why I've moved everything to the other side, you know how I've got like a screen behind me. So I noticed like the match is like reflecting on there. So I thought, okay, probably should try and fix that. So now I've rectified that. It's like a little square, but like you really can't tell. All you can see is like a green blob. But even then, I was like, okay, if I just move it to the other side, then the reflection won't hit that screen and then I'll be good. But anyway, they are 55 seconds. Give me a second. Is that working? That'll do. Close enough. Crazy FC's guy is 8th of your birthday is 11th of October. Very nice. Myself and Durwood's birthday is 3rd of October. So you're not far off. You're about a week later. But it's interesting how everyone's birthday is in October. Are you looking forward to your birthday? Something I've noticed: the older you get, the less you look forward to your birthday. But if you're younger, you definitely look forward to it. Fish, can you be nice to Crazy FC guy, please? Harry says, I'm alright, thanks. My legs are still killing, but are they any better? That is the main question. Norway 1, Moldova 0. Was that, who scored on that one? Was it Haaland or was it somebody else? Finley says, what game you watching tonight? La France avec l'Iceland. France versus Iceland. And it's currently 0-0. But yeah, how's things with you, Finley? Harry was going to make a proper diss in school with instruments, but I couldn't sing properly. That's okay. I mean, you did a pretty good job on your diss track. It was fairly comprehensive. It was fairly thorough. I thought it was quite good. It was more of a freestyle, type of thing. But I liked it. You might have Eminem calling you soon. Harry says, no, not really. Got kicked in the ankles twice. One was a foul and one was all ball, and also had a ball to the groin today. Ouch. You need to perhaps start like suing your school, because your school literally sounds like UFC. It's like, how was school today? And you're like, yeah, I got a kick to the head, and then I kicked someone else in the head, and then I slammed them into the ground, and then did a bit of algebra after that. Yeah, we'll need to play Call of Duty again. That's a safer exercise. Fish says, who's Fish? I think that might be you, but I'm not 100% sure. Fish says IO. Finley says, everything sound. What about you, mate? Yeah, all good. Had a good day. Week's going pretty quickly, so yeah, no major complaints. Harry goes into dangerous tackles. I see. So basically, what we've concluded from this is that you're the instigator who starts everything. So it's your fault. Are you like Are you like Roy Keane on the pitch? And even then, the proper crazy version of Roy Keane. I got a feeling you might be. Fish has sent Harry off. Says red card, Harry suspended by Fish. How long did this suspension last? Is it a 1 game suspension? Is it a 2 game suspension? Or is it a indefinite suspension? That is the question. Before the England game the other day, they were showing the Portugal-Spain game from the summer. I see. Must have been tough. Must have been tough to watch that back. Sometimes I come across like random kind of goal highlights, and it still kind of stings a bit. So it's one of those things. I think that unfortunately is going to take a bit of time. Finley had to walk back 2 hours from college to home today, then ripped his shorts. Okay, firstly, why? Are you in London? Is it because of the tube strikes and all that stuff? I mean, on the positive side, 2 hours, that's like 6 miles. And I know you probably don't want positivity at this point, but yeah, what was the reason for that? Crazy FC guy says you should play FC 26. I could do. People keep telling me to do this. I can give it a go. I haven't played FC, aka FIFA, since 23 or 24. I think 23 maybe. The thing is as well, like I have Game Pass, and I could download it for free if I wanted, but I just that game used to annoy me. I'm playing this game at the moment called Hell Is Us. It's like a horror suspenseful type of game where you just basically get put on a map and you got to figure out what's happening. But the thing is, they don't give you a map, so you just gotta remember where you went and figure things out that way. SB is absolutely fuming with the Ireland game. What happened? Because I've been away from computers for a few hours. You'll have to tell me what happened. Harry says, well, I don't. I'm also just clumsy. I'm the opposite of Roy Keane. I get injured, not... you get injured, not doing the injuring. I see. You're a bit like... do you remember Epl Ucl? Epl Ucl had a tendency to fall over and then break his leg. And the reason why it was a tendency is because it happened twice. So perhaps you're the Epl Ucl of the team. Fish is sentencing Harry for 100,000 years. That's a bit harsh for a bad tackle. Apparently I look like Bebe. You said the other day I look like Francois Coquelin. And then I Googled him and I look absolutely nothing like him. Crazy FC guy says 2-0 Norway, Moldova, Haaland. Nice. I thought France were through there, but nothing happened. But yeah, I mean, inevitably, like, it's gonna sound harsh, but like, Moldova are not known for their footballing exploits, and when you have a team that's not known for their footballing exploits come up against Erling Braut Haaland, there's only one result. There's only one result. Finley said, yeah, of course. Yeah, Newcastle. I spent all my money on a name and number that didn't have bus money. I see what you mean. But at least you have Osula the goat to carry with you now. So that's a positive. Fish is in traffic. That's not ideal. Ireland lost 2-1 to Armenia. Damn. Is that Republic of Ireland or Northern Ireland? But either way, that's not ideal. Durwood basically echoing what I'm insinuating. Harry, you're going to be in trouble when you get older. Harry says, I've never broken a bone though, never broken anything. And Harry says, how am I going to be in trouble? It depends. It depends. I used to kind of quote unquote play football harder when I was younger, and then as I got older I just played less, so I was So I was a bit lucky. It sounds like you're mostly just unlucky and unfortunate, because you were saying that it's not you doing the tackles, it's other people. So hopefully once those other people are no longer around, then you should be good. But you do have a tendency to heal very quickly, which is good. Fish says, how good was Kabak and Ings? Ozan Kabak, not great. And Ings was okay, but he had his best season after he left. I can't remember. Did he leave Liverpool to go to West Ham, or was it Villa? But yeah, he had his best season after he left Liverpool. Ikram agrees. Says totally. Best Champions League final. Mine is Liverpool AC Milan 2005. Yeah, that I think that has to be the best one. Even for neutrals. I know some people say the Man United 99 one, but I don't think that one was as good. I think being 3-0 down at half time and then coming back to make it 3-3. And especially the context of who it was against. You had a Milan super team on one side and you had Jimmy Traore on the other side. So I think not just the result, but also the context of the result means that I agree with you. I think you're right. That is the best final. Harry's playing less and less now. Inevitable. Fish says, I look like whoever that is. I have no idea who that is. Derwood says, if you're clumsy now, it's only going to get worse. That's true. That is true, to be fair. As you get older, sometimes you just drop things. Like you just be holding something in your hand and you just drop it. It's just it's a bit weird. I can't lie. Harry says, I think I'm forcing it a bit in football to get free kicks, but other than that, it's because my shoes have not got grip. But hey, I'm safe and aware. Well, I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, you seem to have an awareness of your surroundings. Is that Kanate? That is Kanate. But yeah, just take care of yourself the best that you can. Crazy FC guy says, should I play FC or watch you? Whatever you want. Up to you, man. Harry says, I've got pins and needles and it hurts a bit. You'll be okay. You'll be alright. PW says, alright mate, my name is Paul, you never walk alone. How are you, Paul? Hope you're good. Hope you're having a good week so far. Simon says, it was the Republic of Ireland. They've got Portugal next. Currently sitting on 1 point after 2. That's not ideal. Is Portugal the last? I guess Portugal will be the last game of this current run of fixtures. But yeah, to just have 1 point, I understand your concern. Harry's like O'Donnell. Fish is saying, why was Kabak bad? I mean, bad is perhaps an exaggeration. He was fine. He was purchased at a time where Liverpool had a major defensive crisis. So, what's his name? Van Dijk was out for the season. Joe Gomez went to England duty and somehow also ended up out for the season. And Joe Matip, was also out for the season. So the club were kind of desperate to a certain degree. And Kabak was someone who was available, and so they got him in. And I mean, just evaluating his performances, he was okay, but he was nothing special. He wasn't great in the air. He was kind of slow. Didn't seem like the most intelligent. Made a couple of mistakes here and there. I'm exaggerating, to be fair, because he wasn't awful. But I think the proof is in the pudding as well, because ultimately they elected not to sign him, and they elected to sign the bloke that I'm watching right now, Mr. Kanate. So he fulfilled the role, but ultimately they did not want to make that permanent. Got the original crown paint top in mint condition, so I'm happy. Very nice. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Where am I? Finley's finishing an hour and a half early tomorrow, so he's not fussed. Fair enough. Durwood saying she has neck and back issues badly, and when you're having pins and needles, be very careful and try to see your doctor. Sounds like good advice. Simon says, I've never seen the Republic in a World Cup in my lifetime. You know it's bad when that happens. When was the last time? Do you know when the last time was, out of curiosity? What are your thoughts on Nottingham Forest sacking Nuno? Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. Number one, apparently the news, and I don't know if this is accurate, but apparently the news was released at 1 a.m. in the morning, which is a bit bizarre. And additionally, the whole situation is just pretty toxic. I would say Nuno did fantastically last season, and that's in spite of the owner publicly, lambasting him, or publicly having a dig at him on the pitch. So I think even though the environment was not optimal for Nuno, he still performed very well and he was still very successful. Ultimately, there's something a bit strange about that owner, should we say. And he's gone, but ultimately I think it's Nottingham Forest's loss. I don't think it's Nuno's loss. I think Nuno's stock has only gone up. So I'm sure he'll get a good. He'll probably have a rest for a bit, but I'm sure he'll probably get a good job somewhere else. But yeah, as you're saying, welcome back, Big Ange. Yeah, that's going to be quite a significant change, going from an ultra defensive team to an ultra attacking team. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. PTSY20 says, how do you rate Liverpool third shirt released a few days ago? Is this the green one? It's nice, isn't it? It's different. It's different, but it's nice. I'm not quite sure yet if I prefer the long sleeve or the short sleeve. Like, this is a long sleeve. Don't know if you can see it. Actually, yeah, this is a long sleeve. But I don't know if I prefer the long sleeve or the short sleeve. But generally, it's very nice. Like, I like the old Adidas logo, and I like the old Liverpool logo, and it has some kind of subtle stripes on it as well. So I think it's quite nice. Do you like it? What do you think? What's your opinion on Giovanni Leone? Yes, we don't have like any categoric Liverpool match experience to go on, but based on the information that we do have, I think things look quite positive. I mean, he's massive, which always helps as a centre back. He was very cheap, around 28 million, I think. He's 18, so he's very young, got a huge ceiling. Doesn't count towards the foreign player quota because he's so young. And additionally, he's been called up to the Italy senior squad. So it's like, whilst we don't have any Liverpool match day data yet, the bits of data we do have, it's not consequential data. I forget what it's called, but the bits of data we do have are positive. So I'm excited to see him. Mr. Default says United, Nuno Santo to Man U. Here we go. I can't lie, that would literally be the worst place for him to go. Like, I feel like Man United needs somewhat of a authoritarian and somewhat of a disciplinarian. Nuno's seems a bit too nice to go there. Not that nice is bad, because nice is good, and nice can work really well in the correct environment. But I don't think Man United is a environment where nice can thrive. 1-0 Hungary, very nice. Who scored? Was it Szoboszlai or Kerkez or any of those? Simon says the Spider-Man wannabe, but Mr. Default says I am Spider-Man. Fair enough. Speaking of Spider-Man, have you got a favourite? Like, is it Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, or who's the new one? Is it Tom Holland or something? I can't lie, I'm more of a Tobey Maguire type of guy. But to be fair, like I thought Andrew Garfield was like decent. Like I would probably go Tobey Maguire number 1, Andrew Garfield number 2, and the new one. It's not Tom Holland, because is it Tom Holland or is Tom Holland? Is he Thor's brother? It is Tom Holland. Okay, I'm getting confused between Tom Holland and Tom Huddleston or something. But yeah, Andrew Garfield was pretty good. Maybe he was a bit too tall to be Spider-Man, but he was pretty good. Leone's a great player. I watched him last year. Nice. I want Hato from Ajax as well. Unfortunately, he has moved to Chelsea, and unfortunately also, Iceland have scored. And the player's name is Good Johnson. I know that doesn't help. I appreciate that's probably half the team. But just trying to see what happens. Good Johnson scores, and it was an assist by Elise. Elise, yeah, what on earth was that defense? Elise tried to do a back pass to the keeper, but he just didn't kick the back pass hard enough, so it ended up being a perfect through ball to a perfect 1-on-1 for Good Johnson. I mean, you can only laugh if you're gonna do a back pass, kick it hard enough so that it actually goes to the keeper. There's the score. Yeah, it's one of the worst back passes I've ever seen. Ricky also wants to see Ireland in one World Cup in his lifetime. We're gonna need a miracle. A miracle, but it's not impossible. You never know. Finley says Tonali, one of the best midfielders in the world right now. Not even worth arguing. It's a fact. Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's very good. Yeah, one of the best in the league. One of the best in the world. You don't see like many Italian players being successful in the Premier League, but I think Tonali has been. And again, irrespective of the whole, you know what, leaving that to aside, I think his performances on the pitch have been really good. PTYS20, do you think Liverpool can win a league again this season? We have some good clubs in England. Yes, I think so. I appreciate all the clubs have strengthened, but Liverpool have strengthened significantly. So all the clubs in England have strengthened, but Liverpool have strengthened significantly, and Liverpool were already champions last year. So it's like, for argument's sake, you can say the clubs around them have maybe gone up 2 steps, but Liverpool seem to have gone up 4 steps, but they were already in first position. So I think barring any major injuries, I think they should win the league. The only kind of area of concern, I think, would be centre-back. If Van Dijk gets an injury, then it's going to be very tough. Because then whilst I have said Leone looks very good, he is 18, and I'm not sure you can rely on him for a extended period of the season. But that's the risk we take. That's the risk we take. But if I had to guess, I'd say yes. After the France game and seeing Kanate having a good game made me want him out in January. The Kanate situation is a bit weird because even on Twitter and even in the news, the last few days, I've been seeing stuff along the lines of Kanate deal agreed with Real Madrid. Kanate is almost at Real Madrid. Kanate's 5 centimeters away from Real Madrid. And whenever I read those stories, I'm so nonchalant, like I don't even care. Like it doesn't even invoke a reaction, and that's so weird. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Which is strange. I don't know if I'm desensitized to the whole thing from the 66 situation last year and seeing how we dealt with that. But I just, at this point, I'm remarkably unfussed. You're saying you'd want him out in January. Was it 20 million or was it 10 million you were saying the other day that you'd potentially take for him? Would you then explore a move for Mark Gahey also in January, or would you look elsewhere and wait to get him on a free? From my perspective, what I would do, and again, just my opinion, I do think he's going to go to Madrid. I would perhaps, to be honest, I would just keep him till the end of the season, because he's a starting centre back, and I think centre back is an area that is quite volatile, and I wouldn't want to bring a new starter in January, so I would just let him ride out the season. And then when season finishes, then we can bring a newbie in, and the newbie can have a fresh pre-season. That's probably what I'd do. Because ultimately for Kanate, I think we'd get around 10 to 20 million. Whilst it's nice, equally, I don't know if that figure really moves the needle. So I'd rather keep him, and I to be honest, I think that's probably what they will end up doing. Finley says the engine on that man. He's proven the Italian stigma wrong. Yeah, he's taken to it like a duck takes to water. E says yo. Mr. Aroma says I can see a situation where Mark Gahey goes to you lot in January for cheap. I think it's possible. Equally, I can also see a situation where they just wait, to get him on a free. I do think he'll end up at Liverpool next season, whether it's January or the end of the year. And by year, I mean the summer. Like there's some rumors that he might go to Madrid, or he might. I'm like that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen, is it? But ultimately, I do think he'll end up at Liverpool one way or another. Derwood says, sell Kanate for whatever we can get. It's either that or nothing. Of course, go for Gahey. I'd rather Palace get money for their captain. Fair enough. That's a different way of looking at it. So, essentially, we cash in on Kanate, and then use the proceeds for Gahey. But whilst I say proceeds, that will probably cover most of the Gahey fee if you think about it. Kanate in January, for argument's sake, 20-ish million. I don't know. It might be a bit less, might be a bit more. But let's, for argument's sake, say 20 million. Mark Gahey was 35 million in the summer. Maybe 25 million in January, maybe 20. So yeah, it'd be roughly the same. So in effect, you financially wouldn't be down, because you'd be swapping Kanate for Gahey, if you think about it from the perspective of the books. So it's a different way of thinking about it. E says, how are you, man? I'm good. I was watching some clips back yesterday, and I noticed like this microphone is always very low, so I'm always like slouched like this. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. So I've moved it up a bit so that I'm forced to sit with a straight back. So in terms of how are you, man? Man's okay, but man's back is a bit is at 90 degrees, and is proper feeling it. But I think I'll get used to it. But yeah, how's things with you? Mr. AA says, yeah, that's true. Also, I think though, player desire to take into consideration too. As in what the needs of what the desire of the player is. Yeah, I think you're right. I'd probably go a bit further than that. It seems like in reality, player desire, as you've called it, tends to be the kind of primary the primary factor, not a factor. If you think about it, from the Isak situation, he had a long contract, 3 years, getting paid loads of money, but player desire was the determining factor. If you think about it from the Wissa situation, he had a contract, but ultimately player desire was the determining factor. So I think these days that's probably the number one indicator. He says, I can't lie to you. I think Kanate is leaving as well. Man's back is killing him. Yeah, it's because, to be fair, I was deadlifting today, so that's my excuse as well. But yeah, as I said, I because these get uploaded to YouTube as well, and sometimes that's what I take the clips from that you sometimes see. So I have to watch it back, and I'm like, why am I so hunched? Like, why am I like that all the time? And I notice it's because this thing is so low. So now I've moved it to the maximum height, so that it forces me to sit straight. But my back is doing this right now. It's like, but I'll survive. I will survive. Finley says, just noticed a new camera angle, looking clean. Thank you very much. Yeah, I just fancied a bit of a change. I'm trying to hide that wardrobe, and I've got a plan for it. But yeah, there's some, like, you probably can't see it because you're on TikTok, but there's a Star Wars poster over there, which I think looks pretty good. And there's like a shelf back there that I'm gonna like store things on. So I figured that's why this angle might be a bit better. Because the previous angle, you just saw like my chubby face, and it just wasn't nice. He's doing good. Kane scored. Interesting. Was it a tap in? Was it a tap in? Who are they even playing? I don't even know who they're playing. Pixel says, hey mate, how you doing, Pixel? Hope you're good. I got news for you also. We discovered the other day that myself and Durwood, we have the exact same birthday. I don't know why. I was like, we need to tell Pixel this. He's going to be amazed. But yeah, we have the exact same birthday. It's kind of crazy. Pixel says, the Dragon Ball hat in the back. That's a really good eye. I gotta say. That you can see that's you got good eyesight. I've actually got like, and speaking of Dragon Ball, I've got another Dragon Ball related thing coming that's gonna go on that shelf, probably on the second one, so probably above where the hat is. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. Probably be there next week or something. But yeah, decided to start putting fancy stuff on that shelf there. I might remove that spray bottle. I use that to spray my plants. I might remove that. But yeah, that's kind of one of my projects. You just start adding fancy stuff to that. Pixel likes the long sleeves. Thank you very much. I'm getting used to it. I wasn't sure so much at the start. But I am being converted over to the long sleeve big brigade. I can't lie. Pixel says, when's Jarl's birthday? Funny story. So maybe 3 streams ago, Durwood was saying my birthday's in October, and I was like, oh cool, my birthday's in October as well. And we were like, yeah, cool. And then last stream, she was like, my birthday's 3rd of October, and I was like, oh my god, mine is also 3rd of October. So yeah, one out of 365 chance. Pretty crazy. Durwood says, hey Pixel. Before the author passed, Akira Toriyama, I got the entire manga set of Dragon Ball Z for free at a book swap. Nice, pretty nice, collection to add to any collection. I've never read the manga, I must admit, but I have seen the anime. The anime is pretty good. He says even Konate coming out saying Mbappe tells him to join Madrid. Yeah, exactly. It like part of me was like, why would you even say that? But I can't lie. Part of me also was like, like I don't care. You know, if it was like Van Dijk or McAllister or someone, I might be more fussed. But for some reason I can't explain, I just don't feel particularly fussed about the whole Konate situation. I don't know if I'm desensitized to it after the 66 situation, but yeah, I just have a mindset of I'm not fussed. But equally, that doesn't make it right. So equally, I think you're correct. Like, you shouldn't come out and say that about saying Mbappe calls me every day. Pixel says, Libra Buddies, I'm September 23rd. Yeah, that Libra Buddies will do. Yeah, so your birthday is the next one then. September 23rd is literally in 2 weeks from today. Good stuff. Not long to go. Eka says hi. How you doing, Eka? Hope all is well with you. Konate is down. On mine, he's kind of limping, but that's never a good sign, especially when the only backup is an 18-year-old. Mr. Aroma Addict says England's second goal was good. Are they 2-0 up then? Let's have a look at the. Let's actually have a look at the old scores. Yoink. If I fix that. Oh shit. There we go. Hungary 1-1 against Portugal. Varga and Bernardo Silva. It's interesting. Norway 3-0 up. Haaland. I think that was pretty obvious. And England 2-0. Kane and Madueke. Rogers got an assist, which is pretty nice. Fair enough. That's looking much better, gotta say. Alexander Isak says Ekatike deserves to be in the French squad. Is he not? Like I saw he went on the training thing. Have they dropped him out of the squad or something? Or is he on the bench or what? What's the deal with him? So they've got Mbappe up front. Ekatike is on the bench, number 19. Yeah, he's just on the. I'll see if I can show you. If you see that there are substitutes. Number 19. So yeah, hopefully it comes on. I mean, France do need a goal given that they're 1-0 down. And he does have a tendency to get goals. Where's my cursor? Should have got a centre back, yeah. I appreciate the deal kind of fell through. And they had a deal lined up, and they had a medical lined up, and everything was agreed. And I appreciate it fell through at the last minute, and it wasn't their fault. But equally, that's why we don't do things at the last minute. That's why we don't leave it until the very end, because these things can happen. Ikram says, is Konate now Liverpool's defensive leader for the future? I don't think so. I reckon he'll probably be off. Probably be off in the summer. Liverpool will get Mark Gahey in, and maybe one more. So I think that ship has sailed. Pavel Podzakolzin and Jan Koller look alike. Who's this guy? Pavel Podkolzin. So this is a basketball player. Thankfully, it's not that basketball player you said that I look like the other day. So like, what? And who's the other one? Oh, is he the tall guy? Yeah, a little bit. I can see the likeness. It's a better likeness than, was it Sunny or something that you compared me to the other day? Mohammed says, are you going to buy the goalkeeper third kit? Is that the black and white one? That does look really nice, to be fair. So I might have to. To be honest, that's one of the nicest kits that they've made in a while. Dan says, hey everyone, how are you, Dan? Hope things are going well for you. Mohammed says, yeah, it's the black one. Yeah, it's looking nice. So they did the third kit released today, I think. There's the green kind of player kit, which looks nice. And then there's the goalkeeper one, which is simple but effective. So it's pretty much just a black kit with white writing. And I think it's got some vertical stripes on it if you look really hard. But yeah, no, it's looking good. Pretty much all the kits this year, I think, look very nice. Is that a penalty to France? What's the dealio? Also, how does Thuram start in front of Ekitike? This is just biased because he's been around for longer. I think this might be a penalty. There's a penalty VAR check. Alexander Isak says, which centre-back of your choice would you sign to Liverpool if we can't get Mark Gahey? You'd go for Inacio. Is he still at Sporting these days? Inacio is good. I just don't know if he's a bit small. Like Liverpool tend to like massive centre-backs. I don't know if he's a bit small from that perspective. But he is an option. He is an option. I guess the only concern would be at Sporting, he played a lot as part of a back three. Do Sporting play like a back two now that Amarim's gone, or is it still a back three? That would be something they would need to figure out. At least Konate jogs during national games too. Yeah, that is one of the benefits. It decreases the likelihood of any injuries because we know Konate likes a good injury. Pessy says, have you got anyone on the back of your shirt? Yeah, I had to get Mo Salah because it's been 8 years and I've actually never had a Mo Salah shirt before. So even if he goes this year, it's more because of how he did in the previous years. Didn't Thuram leg hit the Iceland guy's leg? I mean, that's what it looked like to me. Like, it felt like Thuram kind of clattered into the Iceland guy. But because Thuram went down as part of the clattering, referee panicked and referee gave a penalty. So it is a penalty. Mbappe taking penalty. He's probably going to score. Yeah, he scores. One from a penalty which perhaps should not have been a penalty, but that's life sometimes. What happens if Ekitike gets injured too alongside Konate? Well, that would be unfortunate. That is perhaps also one of the benefits of him not playing, so he's on the bench. So whilst I want him to get experience, if he gets minimal experience or if he doesn't come on at all, I think that's advantageous to his club. Thought you meant Iceland the shop. I can't lie. I have a newfound respect for Iceland the shop. They have the best frozen pizza in England, at least. User says predictions for our Champions League run, how far we go. It's tough to make predictions because I think Champions League is highly dependent on the draw that you get. So you could get easy teams all the way and make it to the final. That's option A. Option B is you could draw PSG in the first knockout, like what happened to Liverpool last year, and you could go out in the first knockout. So Champions League, because there's an element of luck involved, it's tough to say how far a certain team would go. I mean, we know the groups. I think Liverpool will quite comfortably progress out of the group stage. A lot of people were panicking about the teams that Liverpool got, but I don't think any of them are particularly difficult, number one. And number two, it's Champions League. Like, you're going to get big teams. It's not going to be like, Burnley and all that. And I think they can go far. I mean, if I had to make a prediction, I think they'll make it to the final. I'm not 100% sure they'll win that final yet. When they played the final last year versus Newcastle, it just looked a bit lazy. I appreciate that cup is not on the level of the Champions League, but I think they will reach the latter stages. Isaac says Atletico are bad. They lost 4-0 to PSG Club World Cup, and I think we'll smash them. Yeah, I think Liverpool will perform quite well against them. They've got good players. I mean, they've got Alvarez and so forth. But I think stylistically, I think Liverpool will be a good match for them, and Liverpool should get past them quite easily, I think. And I think, is that just on Tuesday? And also, I was looking at the Champions League fixtures. They're on 3 days next week. Sorry, so it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's not just 2, which is quite interesting. Isaac says, time you live till tonight when this match finishes. So about one more hour. User says, I think Isak will make his full debut in the League Cup and come on as a sub in games before that. I think you could be right. He needs to build up his fitness. He needs to build up his sharpness. I mean, I think I didn't watch the Sweden game yesterday, but no, that's a lie. I watched some of it. I think I caught the last few minutes. I think Isak came off the bench So he's not fit enough to start for Sweden yet, which makes me think he's not fit enough to start for Liverpool yet. So I think it will be a gradual. I think it will be a gradual thing. Thankfully, we didn't get Grimsby. Yeah, lucky us. The giant killers. I mean, even calling them giant killers doesn't sound right. I wouldn't really class Man United as giants currently. Isak is gonna rest himself for the Champions League. Makes sense. Makes sense. You want to rest yourself for the big competitions. I do think you need a bit of fitness though. But he looked sharp. I mean, when he came on for Sweden yesterday, I saw kind of clips of it, and I appreciate seeing clips can distort the truth to a certain degree. But based on what I saw, it looked pretty good. United should get kicked out the Prem for being so bad. It's possible. I mean, they could get kicked out by virtue of getting relegated. Because they don't look much better than they did last year, so it could happen. Dylan says thoughts about the Liverpool third kit. I think it's really nice. There's the player kit, which is green with white stripes. It's got the old Adidas logo on it, which I like. It's got the old Liverpool logo on it, which I like. It's got some subtle stripes on it, which are pretty nice. And I think it's pretty good. I think it's probably going to sell quite well. There's the short sleeve and there's the long sleeve. I don't know which of those two I like. I think overall I probably like the short sleeve a bit more, because the weird thing about the kind of green kit is that the stripes on the sleeve, they don't go all the way down. And I think if the stripes did go all the way down, I'd probably favor the long sleeve. But given that they don't go all the way down, I think I favor the short sleeve. And so yeah, that's the player kit. And additionally, there's the goalkeeper kit, which I think is really nice. So it's pretty simple. It's black with white stripes. So yeah, I think I might have to go for that. Don't know who to get on the back though. Whether it's Mamardashvili or Alisson. I think I might have to get Alisson. Ikram says, is Anfield still Liverpool's biggest advantage? Not biggest advantage, if I'm honest. It's a advantage. Biggest advantage is probably the players that they have and the manager that they have. Naturally. But it's an advantage. It can help to a certain degree. Having a strong atmosphere can be off-putting to the opposition. So I'll say it's an advantage. I'm not sure it's the biggest advantage. The biggest advantage are the players and the manager and the tactical setup and all of that stuff. But it is an advantage. Harry says they don't go all the way down because of the Prem. Yeah, but like if you see like this, where are you? If you see this, like it still goes down to like just above. It still goes like down to just above the kind of bicep area, whereas the green one purely stops at the shoulder. If you look closely, but I'm just nitpicking. To be honest. It's a really nice kit. So for me, for the green one, both the short sleeve and the long sleeve are nice, but I think I might be slightly leaning towards the short sleeve, but they're both nice. Fish is back. It's good to know. Where did you go? That's the important question. Man United should bring back Mata and Matic. I was going to say that's insane, but thinking about it, their current younger options that they have are not kind of significantly better. so what's the harm in bringing them back? Ricky says, do you think Isak will still get a golden boot? Probably not, if you think about it. So we're 3 games into the season, and Isak hasn't played in any of those, so he's already got he's already behind quite a few other strikers. Haaland in particular has got 3 goals already. Isak's got none. Additionally, I'm not sure Isak will be fully fit for the 4th game of the season, or the 5th game of the season, or the 6th game of the season. And if you think about it, that's above 10% of games where he's not going to start. So I just think, kind of given the timings of all things, he's probably a bit too far behind on that. Given that he didn't play much football at the start, and given that he needs to get up to fitness. But I think next year he could certainly be in contention. And additionally, that's not to say he won't do well this year. I think he will do really well this year. I just think the circumstances decrease the likelihood of him getting the golden boot. But equally, it's not impossible. Haaland could get injured. Haaland could fall off cliff. So it could happen. It's just unlikely. AFC says hello. Would have been good if Adidas used the 2000s era logo on the kit. Yeah, that's a nice logo as well. That's the one on like the Gerrard kit, with the kind of traditional one with the red and the crest and all that. Maybe they're saving that for next year. you never know. They're probably doing. They're probably spreading it out. They probably make more money that way. Tupac's not active. He's sick. That's unfortunate. I hope you get better soon. Which Liverpool player would you want to play FIFA with? I'll be honest. I'm not a massive FIFA player. I mean, I used to play it a lot when I was younger. But these days, it just feels like the same game, kind of year after year. I'm somebody as well. Like once I play a game, I never replay it. Even if it's like GTA 5, I've never replayed. Red Dead Redemption, I've never replayed. But with FIFA, it feels like I'm replaying the same thing every year. I just get bored of it. Same with fighting games as well. I'm not kind of particularly into those either. Taster Tester says, how's it, man? All good, thank you. It's been a pretty good week so far. How's things with you? Are you looking forward to your 3 weeks off? Rian says, you ever tried Football Manager? Yeah. Football Manager's good. So what's the latest? The latest one's 24, isn't it? Because 25 they didn't release a product because they were building a new engine, which apparently was not up to standards. So the last one is 24. That one I didn't play so much. But 23, I've got a lot of hours on that. Yeah, Football Manager is... 1 second. Timer, thank you. Because you were cleaning in the last stream, I noticed that like 85 minutes, like the timer was wrong and the score was wrong. I was like, that explains it. But we shall fix the timer. At like 70 minutes, it said 1-0 when it was actually 3-1, and it was still stuck on 45 minutes. Norway 5, says Pragian. Damn, and it's only half time. Do you reckon that's gonna hit? Do you reckon that's gonna hit double digits? It very possibly could do. That's insane. But yeah, Football Manager's fun. You can get proper addicted to it to the point where it takes over your life, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But like you can be like doing something else. You can be in the garden and be like just thinking about what transfers you're gonna make. But it's a good way. It's a good way to save. It's a good way to take up a huge block of time and not feel. It's a good way of making time go quickly. So I think I might start a new game on like my next flight or next long train journey to make it go quicker. That's probably what I'll do. Taste tested is good. Cannot wait for his holiday. I'm ready to do absolutely nothing for my first week. Yeah, understandable. Sometimes that's just needed. Sometimes life just gets so hectic and like so busy. And to be honest, I don't think we're designed to be kind of so busy and hectic all the time. I think sometimes you need a bit of downtime just to relax and recuperate. So yeah, no, enjoy it. It's definitely needed. It's especially I think you were saying you worked a couple of weekends. So yeah, it's definitely I think a rest is definitely deserved at this point. Alexander Isak has heard Football Life 25 is free on laptop. I might download it. I believe that one is that like a mod of like PES slash eFootball with updated kits and commentary and things. I've heard very good things about that. So if you do try it, let me know. Let me know if that's any good. Just gotta make it to Thursday. Why Thursday? Why Thursday and not Friday? Is there? It's not a bank holiday, is it? Or am I missing something? Will Frimpong's energy redefine the right flank, says Ikram? I think so. One of the concerns slash frustrating things about the right flank last season was Mr. 66 would not run back. He would have a tendency to jog back if you were lucky. He would jog back if you're lucky, or he would just not jog back at all. So I think having somebody with a bit of energy to track back is going to be advantageous, because let's be honest, Frimpong is going to get forward just like 66 did. But Frimpong will at least put the effort in to run back if he needs to. So I think you're correct. Fish says Oxlade-Chamberlain joining Everton. Is he really? Are you making this up or is this actually happening? Because I have to double, triple check the things that you say sometimes. I mean, it's a possibility, to be fair. It says maybe Leeds, maybe somewhere in Scotland, maybe somewhere somewhere else, and I've just closed it now. Would I feel like he's a traitor? I don't know. Quite often I say no, and then I see them wearing a blue shirt, and I'm like, ugh. Then it hits home. Maybe partially. Thursday is my last day as I go in 3. Right, I see. Okay. So that's when you get your break. Makes sense. When it comes to FIFA, I will play until the season is over, and then that's it for me. Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. So you play until the end of the season, and then you take a break. I used to play a lot when I was younger. I'd get it. Yeah, I would get it every year. It was when Henderson was on the cover with Messi, and then Messi was on the cover and so forth. That's when I used to get it. But eventually I just kind of went off it. I might need to give it another chance. Pot noodle never had it. I used to have it in university. It's not particularly good for you, so I've not had it much since. But if you really have to try one, the green one was good. Like I tried, the yellow one was horrible, the purple one was horrible, the green one was good. User says apparently Isak is on 250k a week. That's a lot less than I expected. That is a lot less. I've heard it's on 300, but I guess it's tough to get accurate. I guess it's tough to get accurate figures, but it makes sense because I think Salah's on about 400, Van Dijk's on about 350. So then Isak is just kind of below them at about 300, 250 to 300, that kind of mark. Typically, strikers do command a premium. That's how I rationalize it in my head at the very least. Fish wants Ox back. He's not going to come back to Liverpool. Currently doing Burnley career mode with Jose Mourinho. Signed Origi. Nice. Did you sign him for free or did you pay a fee for him? But pretty good signing. Has he scored many goals for you? Mello says Haaland 4 goals. It was every time somebody mentions that game, there's been another goal. We've had Haaland 1, Haaland 2, and then we had half-time. Somebody mentioned Haaland got a hat-trick. Now Haaland's got a 4th. It's crazy. England winning 2-0 and Portugal is 1-1, 50 minutes. Yeah, quite a few good games if we have a look here. What am I doing? France 1-1 as we're aware. Hungary 1-1. This one's crazy. Norway 6. Oh, you can't say it. Norway 6, Moldova 0. 4 for Haaland, 1 for Odegaard. Which is pretty wild. Then Serbia 2, England 0. Sorry, Serbia 0, England 2. I think England will probably end up winning. France will probably come back and win this purely because they're France. France have a tendency to not play too well in these games, but when it comes to a serious tournament, they have a tendency to turn it on. Free agent, yeah. I mean, free agent Origi can't really complain. Has he scored many goals for you? Like, is he performing? Or do you regret the free transfer? Free kick to Spain, not Spain, France. And they do absolutely nothing with it. Have you ever spent hours on FIFA trying to do all the updated transfers like I did? Not in FIFA. When I was younger, we had a game called Sensible Soccer, and I used to do it on that. I think these days we just get lazy because you can just like download an options file, which can sometimes do that for you. Crazy FC guy says 6-0 Norway, Haaland 4 goals. Yeah, so someone was saying earlier, we've had Haaland 1-0, Haaland 2-0, Haaland 3-0, which is half time. And now Haaland 4. I mean, how many do you reckon he's gonna score at this point? It's do you reckon he'll get 6, which is 2 hat tricks? Ah, yes, the timer, indeed. There we go. Fixed it. Haaland, goal machine, solid 9 goals, trust. Says Crazy FC guy. You reckon he'll get 9 goals in this game? Teacher says Haaland ghosts in big games. That is true, to be fair. I see where you're coming from. So against the smaller teams, he can bag a lot of goals. He can take his chances, but against stronger teams and stronger defenses, he'll just kind of hover in that zone up front and not really do much. So I think that's a fair argument. Also, Taster Tester says 3-0 England. Oh, who scored the third goal? Konza, okay, and an assist from Mark Gahey before he goes to Liverpool. This is the thing about kind of international football. Like, more often than not, you play the smaller teams. So it's tough to kind of read too much into it. Crazy FC guy don't even like Haaland. Isak better. I'm with you on that. I certainly think Isak's more versatile and a bit more unpredictable, which is kind of what you need. I mean, if you just take Van Dijk for example, I feel like Van Dijk had Haaland's number pretty much the entirety of last season. Like, Haaland couldn't really do anything against him, but when it came up against Isak, Isak made Van Dijk look silly on multiple occasions. And there's one occasion that comes to mind where he kind of cut it onto his right foot, left Van Dijk for dead, and then smacked it past Kelleher. And that's probably my favourite Isak goal that I've ever seen, and it's against Liverpool. So glad to have him on board. Fish says, what's pot noodle? It's like noodles in a pot, and that's a bad example. That's a bad description. But basically, you just boil water in a kettle, and then you pour it over the noodles, and then that's all you do. So it's like a quick and easy instant noodle type of thing. They're not very nice. They're more like university food. But if you had to have one, go for the green one. Crazy FC guy says, what should I do? My friend is a Man United. Oh, what should I do? My friend is a Man United fan, and my other friend is a City fan, and they say Kirkes and Gravenberch is bad. Say that's fine then. So say to them, okay, I'll keep Kirkes, and you can keep Luke Shaw, and then we're both happy. No problem, right? That's what I say. Or or they'll say Gravenberch is bad, and you say, okay, fine, okay. We'll keep Gravenberch, you can keep Casemiro, and then we're both happy. What's the problem? That's what I say. Taste the Testers says, what's your top 4 top scorer predictions this season? Haaland, Salah. I would put Isak in there, but I don't know how many games he's going to miss. Well, he's already missed 3. And I don't know how many more he's going to miss because of fitness. I don't... I'm trying to think who else there is. Gyökeres maybe. Watkins maybe. I think Wissa probably not. Voltamade, absolutely not. Probably the usual suspects, if I'm honest. But I think the overall top scorer. Will be Haaland. Lingard to Gornik Zabje, says Fish. I feel bad for your team there. You look a bit like Elton John, Xavier Woods. That's 2 separate people though. Elton John is the old singer. Xavier Woods, is he not a wrestler? Is there like a combination of them? Portugal winning 2-1, says Taste the Testers. Ronaldo still around. How is Ronaldo still in that team? Like when is he gonna leave them alone? I feel like I feel like he's bigger than that team at this point. Isn't it for the best of he should probably move on for the good of that team. Crazy FC guy says, "Where is Fish? He's here. He's on the horizontal stream. So if you click on my profile and you go to the live section, there's two streams. So there's a vertical one, which is the one that you're watching, and there's also a horizontal one. So your stream says vertical at the start, but there's another stream that doesn't say vertical at the start. It just says France, and that one is horizontal. That's the one that Fish seems to be watching, where he said this. Elton John Xavier Woods is a person. Okay, I'm just going to Google this person. Yeah, this is like, I mean, this is Xavier Woods, the wrestler, but I don't understand the kind of Elton John. I don't understand the Elton John part. There you go. Crazy FC guys on horizontal now. And now you can see the shelf in the background. And you can see the poster. And you can see the mirror. I'm going to start putting more stuff on that shelf. That's the plan. What about Ekitike? Yeah, that's a... I think Ekitike is definitely in with a shout of getting the golden boot. Certainly from a talent perspective, the only thing I'm a bit unsure about is how much game time is he going to get when Isak's fit? Like, is Ekitike the designated backup, or is Ekitike going to play in Gakpo's position? I think that's the only kind of uncertainty that I have at the moment. Kind of how much Ekitike is going to play. But from a talent perspective, I think he's really good. Fish says there. Crazy FC guy says there. You look like Flura, says Crazy FC guy, and also Fish. Okay, who's this? Who are these people? I don't know who these people are. That's a penguin. The thing is though, despite that being a penguin, I see where you're coming from. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That one I see. I mean, I don't think my nose is quite that big, but nevertheless, I take your point. I think that's I think I can see the likeness of that. I can see it. Do you think Liverpool can win the Premier League this year? Yes, 100%. 100%. Liverpool won the Premier League last year, number one. And number two, they have strengthened significantly. Whereas the teams around them have not strengthened significantly. So I'd class them as favourites. K-Days says, hey mate, good evening. How are you, K-Days? I hope you're doing good. Hope you've had a good weekend. Crazy FC guy saying it was a joke. No, that's okay. I see the likeness. I see the likeness between this penguin thing and me. "7-0 Norway." Don't tell me Haaland again. Do not tell me Haaland again. I mean, I'm a bit annoyed that Haaland is scoring all these goals for Norway, because I have him in my fantasy team and I know what's going to happen. He's going to come back to the Premier League and do absolutely nothing, especially since he's up against Man United for his next game. Ikram loves all my streams. Thank you, Ikram. It's very kind. Cengiz says, Assalamu alaikum. How you doing, Cengiz? I hope you're well. I hope all is good in Turkey. Alexander Isak says, search the NBA. I searched for this guy. I think you must have the name wrong. Are you sure that name is correct? Because look, you see in the search box, I've literally written Elton John. I've literally written Elton John Xavier Woods. But NBA will surely just narrow down the criteria further, right? Is it any of these people? Cengiz says, ça va, oui, oui. Bien, bien. Parlez-vous français? Oh, no. it looked like you did. 7-0 Norway reminds Crazy FC guy of something. It reminds me of something as well. Taster Tester says, I think Haaland's been figured out by many Premier League teams, so I got a feeling Man City is going to be losing a lot more than usual. I certainly think that's part of it. They seem to be quite bereft of confidence as well. Typically in the past, Guardiola's solution has been just to kind of buy more players, which he did in January with Marmoush and some other guy who he's now gotten rid of. And he conducted the same plan over the summer. He bought more players, but it doesn't seem to be working. So I do think you're right. I think Haaland's kind of style of play with respect to staying on the shoulder and coming in at the back post, I do think teams are catching on to that now. But equally, I think there's something else going on at Man City that doesn't seem quite right. Mbappe's through 1-on-1. That's a goal. Who's that? Barcola? Mbappe squares it to Barcola. Barcola taps it in. 2-1. Cengiz says, très bien. Oui, oui. Do you speak any French, or is it like a little bit here and there? Finley says, who scored for France? Mbappe penalty, and then literally just right now, Mbappe 1-on-1 with the keeper. So you know when you get one-on-one with the keeper kind of closes the distance. Mbappe then squared it to Barcola, who tapped into a empty net. Taste the Tester says, I think Pep has 1 foot. Yeah. You're right. He just doesn't seem he doesn't seem kind of quite as motivated anymore. I think he perhaps needs a change of scenery to a certain degree. Whether it will happen this year or next year, I don't know. But I think you're onto something. I mean, he had that kind of rivalry with Klopp, and then sometimes you need a rival to take yourself to the next stage. And once that rival goes, maybe that can then influence the motivation that you have. Cengiz says, je ne parle pas français. Okay, so you don't speak French. Is there always international breaks every month for the first part of the season? I believe it's a new phenomenon. We didn't used to have it back in my day. I think it's a new thing because there's so many more games these days. But it's annoying. It's annoying either way. But the positive is, I think this is pretty much the end of it, and the proper football starts very soon. Ronnie says 7-0 to Norway. Every time Every time somebody mentions Norway, there's been another goal. What do you reckon the final score is going to be? Do you reckon it's going to be 8-0, 9-0, or maybe 10-0? I'm curious to hear everyone's predictions. User says, think we're starting to see the decline of Guardiola, similar to Mourinho. You could be onto something. Football does work in cycles, and certain things, similar to how kind of certain kind of medicines can work and work and work and work, but then you have too much of it and eventually you become resistant to it. Is it that in some ways? Could be the end of an era. Didn't Pep say he was done after this season? I think so. Like that's in my mind. That's in my mind where he said that he's done. But it's also in my mind that he signed a new contract, and I can't remember which is accurate. Crazy FC guy says you look like whoever that is. I'll try googling them in a bit. Alexander Isak says 12-0. Ronnie's predicting a 9-0 win. Crazy FC guy says it's going to be 7-1. I mean, I think the lesson for the future here is whenever Norway are playing against a weak team, watch them instead. Because Haaland's gonna score quite a few goals. Finley thinks Pep will retire at City. Possibly. I mean, you could be onto something because he's managed in England, he's managed in Germany, he's managed in Spain. I'm not sure he's really going to want to manage in Italy. But you never know. He might take a break and then go Saudi for the big bucks. Fish needs to relieve himself. Thank you very much for that information. 8-0 to Norway is Taster Tester's prediction. That's a good prediction. So Taster Tester said 8-0. Ronnie said 9-0. Crazy FC guy said 7-1. Am I missing anyone? Alexander Isak said 12-0. I'm going to go for 9. There's one in October and November. There is. I'm glad for the October one because I won't be here. But yeah, there's one in November as well. The October one is quite long. I'm not sure how long the November one is, but it's frustrating because it makes the whole season kind of stop and start, doesn't it? I wish they'd just get rid of international football. Crazy FC guy says it's 7-1. Are you guys like missing? Because Crazy FC guys like it's 7-1 now, 8-1 now. Like, are they literally scoring like every 2 seconds? What is going on? I mean, you're not. I mean, you're telling the truth. I mean, look at this. That's crazy. Cengiz says Turkey 8, 0 England 1984. That's not far off from what we have here. Norway 8, Moldova 1 2025. Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? Ronnie says who will get relegated? I think Wolves, unfortunately, will get relegated. I think losing Cunha is a bit of a blow. And additionally, 2 of the 3 that came up in addition to those. What do you think, Ronnie? There's just so much happening. There's 8-1 here, and is Schumanni getting sent off? Durwood saying red card. Crazy FC guys, hey Ben, my mind is just like exploding because there's so much going on. I'm like trying to keep track of like 8 goals here with like my right eye, and my left eye is like this guy's getting sent off, and then Crazy FC guy is saying there's a penalty. It's like everything has decided to happen all at once. Cengiz says, Haaland, how many scores? He has scored 4 already. I think he'll get one more to make it 5. Tester says, I think Pep has accomplished enough in his career. Time to retire for him. If he does go anywhere, I got a feeling it will be AC Milan or Juventus. I mean, Italy would make sense because then you could say he's kind of completed the... I was going to say completed the multi-pack, but that don't make sense. He's collected all the Infinity Stones. He would have Barcelona, Spain, Bayern Munich, Germany, Man City, England, and then one of those, Italy. He can then say he's managed in all the major leagues, and that would be a nice accomplishment for him to have. I do think after Man City he'll probably take a break for a bit, have a break for a year, and then he'll probably be back. Ronnie's relegation candidates are Burnley, Wolves, and Brentford. Yeah, I think that's a fair prediction. I do like Wolves as well. It's a bit unfortunate. Like I do like Wolves, but I just think unfortunately losing Cunha, losing Ait Nouri, it's going to be tough for them. Finley says, what device do you stream on? If it's not a phone, download Mika Football. What is Mika Football? This is being streamed on a Mac. This is what you're watching is I mean, I could show it's a Mac. It's an M4 Pro Mac Mini. The reason why it has to be M4 Pro, like I did have a normal M4, but it wasn't powerful enough, so that now that's over there. So the people on, maybe you can't see it. Let me see if it comes up. Actually, no. If you see the shelf in the background, so with the orange hat, below that orange hat, on the opposite side, so there's flower pot 1, flower pot 2, and then there's a little silver box. So it looks identical to that. It's just more powerful. Indoors, inside even. 9-1. Are you joking? You are not joking. You're. This is insane. It is proper hard to keep track of all this. I can't lie. Gay, he just scored. Of course he has. now there's yet another thing we have to keep track of. Was it a good goal? Fish says who got red? I think Shuameni got red. England 4-0 says Taste the Testers. Ronnie also says 4-0 to England. Let's have a quick look at that. I'm doing all this with a trackpad. I hope it's quite hard. It's quite hard to navigate with a trackpad. Maybe I need to use a mouse. Oh yeah, Mark Gahey. So Gahey's got a goal and an assist. Not bad. I appreciate it's Serbia, but hey, it still counts. Norway really scored 10. Don't tell me it's 10. Every time I check another team, Norway have scored. What's going on? I've still got 9 on mine. You might be slightly ahead of me. You might be slightly ahead. Brentford are very good. You reckon Newcastle will get relegated, Cengiz? I think Newcastle will do. I think Newcastle will do quite well, to be honest. I appreciate they've lost Isak, but I still think they've got a good midfield. Still got good defenders. Unlike Iceland, Mbappe's through. Mbappe hits it over. I think Newcastle will get top 8. Isaac's got a laptop, PS4, and Xbox 360. Nice. Have you got like a favorite Xbox 360 game? I think Xbox 360 was one of the best consoles. One of the best console generations as well, I gotta say. Cengiz says Turkey almost released. Taste the Testers says I think Isaac's gonna hammer Newcastle on the return game. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think that's at Anfield as well. So I'm proper looking forward to that. He'll get an hostile atmosphere, but I think he'll rise to it. Crazy FC says he scored an own goal. No, the other goal was an own goal. Okay, fair enough. That was 1 minute ago, but 1 minute after that, now it's 10-1. What is going? Oh yeah, I've got it on the screen, but I'm not looking at it. So how many goals is that for Haaland? 5. That is insane. He's scoring 5 goals against Moldova, only to come up against Man United on Sunday and do absolutely nothing. But what can you do? That's life, isn't it? Haaland goal. Cengiz says 10. Really? I'm as shocked as you are, but it does seem like that. I mean, if you lose 10-1, just find a new hobby. Stop playing football. Isaac predicts 21. Finley says hostile atmosphere is an understatement. He'll get the most abuse you'll ever see in football. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. I mean, the saving grace to a certain degree is he'll be at home, so it will limit the amount of opposition's fans. But yeah, they won't be happy. Taste the Tester says Eddie Howe has got too much pride to let Newcastle get relegated. I think top 10. I think they'll do well. Like, I still think they're a really good team. They've still got very good midfield. I still think structurally they're very good. Liverpool beat them 1-0, but it was tough. I think they'll get top 8. Mbappe 1-on-1 and he does nothing. Cengiz says, I now think Haaland's better than Mbappe. Certainly a better finisher, because Mbappe right now just had a 1-on-1. And you know when they're taking the shot and you know that it's not going to go in. That's exactly what happened. Haaland will shoot low, but Mbappe will shoot kind of waist high, and it always ends up getting saved. No way we'll win the World Cup. Unfortunately, I think when he comes up against tougher teams, he does struggle. Fish says, sing me a lullaby about Bree Bree Bikus Dikus. I don't know any lullabies, unfortunately. If you need music, you can listen to the track that Harry wrote about you. I think being at Anfield will drown out the Newcastle fans, says Dawood. Yeah, it's entirely possible. Typically the away fans, they be in Anfield Road end. So yeah, I think generally speaking, he should be okay. I think he should be okay. The only thing is sometimes it can go quiet at Anfield, and if it goes quiet, then you might notice. Yeah, I hope there's no pitch invaders, because then it just ruins it for everyone, and I don't want them like putting like cages up on the pitch and that kind of thing. It just ruins it. Hope they all behave themselves. What, Spain beat Norway? Yeah, 4-1. Ikram says spot on, exactly. I'll take that as a compliment. Taster Tester says Mbappe is a hard hitter, so one-on-one will always end up wide or skyrocketed. Yeah, he kind of loses his composure to a certain degree whenever he has a one-on-one. Like, he runs with composure and conviction when he's running with the ball, but then when the time comes to take a shot, suddenly he loses that conviction and composure, and he will smack it waist height. And if a ball is at waist height, it's much easier for a keeper to save than if it's low or very high. It's bizarre that it's something that he still hasn't gotten out of his game. Portugal 2-2. I'm losing track. Who are they playing again? Hungary. Okay, Hungary. Varga scored again. If we have a quick look. Nice. I can't lie. I know we all make fun of international football, myself included, but this has been an eventful night with a lot of goals. Haaland, listen, champion music, says Cengiz. Crazy FC guy said R.I.P. Jota. What I noticed, if you go on the Liverpool website, you know how they have sections for all the players. So you'll have like goalkeepers, Alisson, blah blah blah, defenders, Van Dijk, blah blah blah, midfielders, blah blah blah, strikers, blah blah blah, and then there's a section after strikers called Forever, and it's just got Jota in it. And I thought that's a nice touch. Van Dijk and Curtis Jones also add the pitch invaders here. Kanate would give him a good hiding as well. I think if the boos can be heard, the fans will cheer every time Isak touches the ball. Yeah, they'll they'll do their best to drown out the noise, I think. And I think Liverpool will have the numbers advantage as well. So I think that certainly helps. So yeah, let's hope that happens. Ronnie says Mbappe has broken the Herney record. I think. Mbappe. What record is that? Is that a goal record, or is that another record? See, crazy FC guy has gotten used to fish now. He's like it's okay. Crazy FC guy was asking me at the start, and I was like, you'll get used to him, don't worry. Portugal 3-2, says Darewood. Portugal 3-2, taster testers. Wow, these lot. This feels like exercise to a certain degree. João Cancelo. You see that? Oh, Portugal gonna hold on. It wouldn't surprise me if they don't, because there seems to be a goal every 2 seconds. Finley disputes it, says we cannot be drowned out. Ikram says I love your content. Appreciate that, Ikram. Crazy FC guy says look at the new Liverpool videos. I had a look before. There's one where they go through like 90s equipment, like Game Boys. It's pretty good. So they gave like Alisson. So you have Alisson, you've got Salah, you got Curtis Jones, you got Conor Bradley, and they give them things from the 90s, and they have to figure out. They have to kind of figure out what those things are. That was a pretty fun video. There's also one where they do the player ratings, but I've not seen that one yet. The FIFA ratings. Is there a specific video that you were referring to? Yeah, I literally always pick the worst the worst game. I must have a skill for like always picking the game that has the least amount of goals in it, because this is not the first time or the second time this has happened. Ronnie says the record that Mbappe has broken is the most goals in the France national team. Nice. I thought it was going to be something crazy like most chances missed, but it's actually something positive. So that's no, that's good to see. That's good to see. He's very young. He's still not very young. He's still quite young, Mbappe. So he's got a while to go. He'll probably extend that record out even further. Alexander Isak said, "You make me get through my week. Your lives are always good and laughable." That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Equally, you guys help me get through my week as well. So that's it works. It works both ways. I gotta admit. Is Ekatike playing yet? Nope. Still on the bench. We are at 85 minutes, so I doubt he's gonna come on. Taster Testers has got an Xbox 360 Elite, a powerful PC, and an Xbox One. Nice. So Xbox 360 Elite, that was the black one with the HDMI port on it. So when they first released Xbox 360, it was white, wasn't it? And it didn't have a HDMI port on it. But the Elite was the fancy one. So that's pretty nice. Part of your collection, a powerful PC and an Xbox One. Nice. I've had Xboxes and PlayStations back in the day. Nowadays, I mostly just play on PC. So I built my PC around Christmas time because I bought all the parts like during Black Friday because they were cheap. The only part I couldn't get was the graphics card because the new graphics cards came out in February. So I bought most of the parts during Black Friday, and then I bought the graphics card in February, slapped it all together, turned it on, thought it was gonna whoosh, but when I turned it on, it all just worked. I was like, wow, that's surprises me. Crazy FC guy says, yeah, it's the ratings video. Okay, I might watch that. Maybe watch that tonight or tomorrow. Is it good? Like, I saw on the thumbnail, there's Mamadashvili. There's Kirkes and one more player. But if you're saying it's good, I will definitely check that out. Crazy FC guy says, you are very funny, by the way. Thank you very much. Rashford scored a penalty. Trying to get Marcus's confidence up. Let's have a quick look. You guys are right. So Durwood says Rashford scored a penalty 5-0. Tester says England 5-0. Ronnie said Rashford has scored. Fair enough. I gotta say. While Serbia are not the strongest opposition, equally 5-0 is 5-0. Like that's a convincing win, and I think I've not seen the game, but I hope people are much happier with that kind of performance. Because even against like an average team, like 5-0 is still a good score. Take care, Alexander Isak. Have a nice evening and nice week. Cengiz says Ronaldo R7. You prefer Ronaldo R9? Yeah, Ronaldo R9 was the one that I grew up with. Oh, Iceland have just scored. Is it Good Johnson again? Has my game finally got another goal in it? My game that I chose to watch out of all the games, which has ended up being the most boring game, whilst everyone else's game has 1,000 goals. My game has just got another goal. Let's go, my game. So the played it out wide. Poor defending by Konate. I don't think. I was gonna say I don't think Durwood will want to see that, but to be fair, Durwood does want to sell Konate. But that goal is probably Konate's fault. Konate completely missed the ball. But I shall increment the score back to 2-2. It's good. Yeah, I'll check. I will check that video out. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. But it's on the list. The other video, the 90s one where they they give like the Liverpool players objects from the 90s because the green kit is inspired from the 90s. So they just give them like Game Boys, and that one's good as well. I saw that one today. Crazy FC guy says Ekitike. I haven't seen him come on. Let me just double check the actual, if you can see it over here. Nah, he ain't on. Ekitike is not on. See if I adjust that there. Have they choked the goal off? Taste the Testers says, I'm off now. Enjoy the rest of the evenings. May the rest of your evenings be blessed. You too, Taste the Testers. Hope you have a relaxing evening. Take care. Oh, sorry, right. That's why you were saying Ekitike. It makes sense now. When I was like, there's two players, but I can't remember who the third one is. It's like, yeah. That's why you were saying Ekitike. You've reminded me now. Because I remember I saw like a preview and he was very upset about his ratings. Ronnie, it's 11-1. Are you joking me? You are not joking me. What on earth is this? $11-1. So 5 goals for Haaland, 4 goals for Asgard. That is insane. Crazy FC guy says, please watch the next Norway game. Yeah, I think you're right. I think especially if Norway come up against a weak team, Haaland is gonna at least get a hat trick, maybe get 2 hat tricks. So I think you're right. You'll have to remind me the next time there's internationals that we collectively decided to watch Norway instead. Yeah, 11-1 is crazy. No goal. Okay, so the one time I remember to update the score, it gets choked off. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. I wasn't even watching Dando putting stuff away. You didn't want to see that. It was a bad mistake by Konate. It was a cross. Konate kind of. Let me see if I can show you in my hand. Konate kind of went in, but completely missed. And then the Iceland player kicked her in the goal. Crazy FC guy says, you're the GOAT. I will watch you every day. Appreciate that, Crazy FC guy. Appreciate the kind words. And appreciate you reminding me with Ekitike. Crazy FC guys from Norway. Nice. Good stuff. I haven't been to Norway yet, but it is one of the places on my list. Really nice country from some of the pictures I've seen. So yeah, good stuff. The land of John Arne Riise. John Arne Riise. Who else have we had from Liverpool? John Arne Riise, Stig Inge Bjornby. I think he was Norwegian. Was Igor Biscan? I don't think Igor Biscan, but I think there's a few others. Cengiz says, I see 11-1, yeah. It's not looking good for Moldova, I think. I think Moldova should retire from football. Dawood, I can hear the disdain and disgust when you say at least he does it there. At least he does it there as well. I think Konate is gonna be 5 next year. You know how who is 66. Then I feel like Konate is gonna be number 5. But yeah, that's just like Yeah, at least he does it there as well. Yeah. The what do we call it? The kind of brain dead moments where he loses concentration. It's yeah. At least we can say it's not exclusive to Liverpool. Fish is going to sleep. Bye bye. Take care, Fish. Hope you do not have nightmares about Harry. I hope instead you have nice, pleasant dreams. Manchester City coach, goodbye, says Cengiz. Yeah, in terms of Pep Guardiola, yeah. I think this will be his last season. He just doesn't look particularly motivated. Results are not what they once were. So yeah, I think it'll be off. I think you're right. Fish with the hug emoji. Very nice. Take care, Fish. Oh, he will be there next match. Oh, God. The thing is, 66 has a nice ring to it. Ekatike is coming on for the last 2 seconds. 66 has a nice ring to it. But 5 might need to be like number 5 or something just to make it a bit longer. But yeah. Ekatike is coming on for Elise. So Ekatike is going to get 2 minutes. Crazy FC guy says, I like Fish low key now. He's nice. Yeah, Fish is cool. Fish has a good heart. Fish has good intentions. He is a kind soul. And as soon as I say he's a kind soul, he then says, I'm retired from farting. I'm like, dude, do you have to? Whilst I'm saying you're a kind soul with a good heart, do you have to do you have to mention farting? Oh God! But you said you've retired from it, so that's a positive. There we go. Only positive vibes, which is a good thing. Ekatike is on the left, which is a bit weird. Can't lie. So France are defending with all their players, including Ekatike, and Mbappe is just up front by himself. But yeah, 30 seconds to go in this game. I think La France. What's the French to win? I can't remember, but yeah, the French are gonna win. It'll sound good once you say enough. Yeah, I think you're right. Perhaps we just need to get used to it, and then once we've gotten used to it, then it should be fine. Crazy FC guy says you're an underrated streamer. I try my best. I'm fairly new. I think the first game I streamed was March. So is that like 6 months? And end of March. I think end of March. So not like 6 months. I'm still figuring things out, to be honest with you. 68 Aksaray, like Galatasaray. Is that like another team? Ikram says, can Kirkes provide Slot with tactical flexibility? I would think so, yes, because he's defensively sound, as you saw against Arsenal, where Madueke struggled to get any sort of room against him. So defensively, he's sound. And I think going forward, he's also sound, a lot of which you saw for his former team last year, and some of which you've seen this year. So going forward, he's got a lot of pace, he's got a lot of aggression, he can put a really good cross in. Whereas from a defensive perspective, he's very hard to beat on one-on-ones, and you saw that against Arsenal. So I do think he can provide Slot with tactical flexibility because he can play a more reserved game if he needs to, like against an Arsenal, or he can play a more attacking game if he needs to against a low block. So I would argue that his tactical flexibility is probably one of his strengths. I was hoping you had forgotten about that. The food, what the food, the cooking, the cooking stream. Yeah, I think I might have to at this rate. I can use the Kerrygold butter to whip something up. Fish misses Arne Slot, which is interesting because Arne Slot sent me a text message today and said, "Tell Fish that I miss him too." And Fish also misses himself, which is good to see. That is full time. Le Français win the. What's the French verb to win? This is bugging me. French verb to win. Gagner. That's it. Le Français gagner le. What's the word for match? Whatever it is. That was good. As always, end up watching the game with the least goals, but it kept us occupied. I'll probably be back on Saturday. Might do some gaming tomorrow. But Saturday, it's Newcastle versus somebody. I should know. I created the damn thumbnail today. Jishnu says, "Where are you from, bro?" I'm from the UK, England. How about you, Jishnu? Derwood says, "Time for dinner. Have a good night. Have a good evening, Derwood. Take care." Yeah, Newcastle Wolves. Newcastle Wolves on Saturday. Probably be back for that one. But yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of the week, and hopefully see some of you guys then. Take care.